the concept of positive thinking and being positive, because, that's kind of where it starts. If you want to uplift, you have to be positive. And when people try positive thinking, it doesn't work. Right? I often say that, you can't take cow dung and place a cherry on top. It will not magically turn into cake. And that's often what we do. Because as individuals, especially as humans, we are often consumed with our self-negativity, all self-criticism, and all of that. And then we try a positive thought. And it doesn't work because the brain does not recognize it as truth. When you have an ongoing description of yourself and your life and your reality, and you judge it and you're being negative, your brain cannot recognize when you have a positive thought. So you need to have thoughts you can actually believe in. And the interesting thing when people try positive thinking, they're basically thinking of someone else than themselves. They create a different reality, and they often place the positive thought too far away from where they're at. So it's just wishful thinking. And when that happens, because it's out of reach, the only way it can happen is through magic, right? So it's over there, and then it's up to the universe, because I deserve it, because that will be the confirmation I need, and I need the confirmation. So it will become a power game where you try to force the universe into giving you the confirmation you want. And it doesn't work. So the way to work with positive thinking is very simple. You can only change what you can touch. It's a very simple concept. It's like you can only pick the fruits you can actually reach, right? If you're in a fruit garden, picking apples, pears, plums, you can only pick the ones you can actually reach. Thinking positively about the fruits you can't reach will not make them magically fall into your lap. But often when we're too lazy, we think that's the way we can get the fruit. And often you see people applying positive thinking, they're not picking the fruits. Even those who are low hanging and right in front of them, because that would require effort and doing something. And then the question is, why are we not picking the fruits? And it's often because of a sense of entitlement, back to something that we will talk about in a little while, self-worth, and how we weaponize the concept of self-worth. Often when we have a positive thought about, I want to be rich, I want to be a billionaire, what we often think about is going shopping, the yachts, the vacations, all of that. Not understanding that to become a billionaire, you have to behave like one. And what's the behavior of very successful people? They work absolutely all the time. They're extremely driven, extremely focused, and they sacrifice absolutely everything to have success. Absolutely everything. And you will see that with people who have real success in life. It doesn't just happen. It takes an extraordinary amount of self-discipline, an extraordinary amount of effort and focus and dedication and sacrifice. And then you have the ones who don't have that, who are not living that way, wanting it to just happen magically and not understanding why it's not happening. Well, when you pick the fruits, you start by what's right in front of you. You have to be successful at what you do in this moment. You have to turn every action into a success, not a suffering story. Most people who do not experience success, they have the story that everything they do is because they have to do it. It's something they have to do. They don't want to, but that's what life is, you know? You will never have success that way because you're saying that I don't want any of this. I don't want to be part of this. So that's the energy. That's your thoughts. Those are your feelings. And you have to want your life. You have to want everything. You have to want more. So embracing your life and wanting to make everything into a success. You'll see most successful people, they do everything successfully. They will not do it unless they can do it successfully. When they recognize that there's something I cannot do successfully, they hire someone who can do it successfully for them. They never have to do anything. They do it because they want to, because they're driven. And that's positive thinking. It's what you vibrate, the energy you're in while doing something. That's the low-hanging fruit. If you're not able to muster positive thinking around the things you are doing now, how would you possibly be able to create a positive energy around things that are much harder, that takes more effort than, your current type of life? So, where you start is by changing what you can touch. That's how you start. And it's looking at your current thoughts and attitudes towards yourself, your actions. Are you thinking positively about what you are currently doing? Because there's never anything wrong with what you are doing because you're surviving, right? So that's part of maintenance and being a person. It's changing your attitude and learning to love it, learning to do everything successfully. And success can only happen if you actually want it. So you have to want your life. You have to want the life you already have. If you have an apple tree and you decide that you don't want apples and it's too much work picking them, success means that you have 100 apple trees and you pick all of them, right? If what you're doing now in a small format, if you have negative energy around that, you can't scale it up because success is about scalability. It's being able to do something so well, and then you scale it up. Low-hanging fruits, what you can currently reach. That's positive thinking. Everything else is wishful thinking.